The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to this morning's marketing clinic with your host, James McDonald.
Well, thank you very much, Andrea. And I'd like to start by welcoming our participants. And some of you may not know this, but today is a very, very special day. Today is Canada Day. So I don't know if we'll have too many Canadians on, do we, Andrea?
Well, at least not today.
No, probably wouldn't, yes. Today is like the July 4th equivalent in Canada. July 1st is Canada Day. And so happy birthday, Canada. Canada became a country of its own in 1867, so you can do the math and figure out how old it is. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't expect that we'd have too many Canadians on today, but hey, maybe we do. I'm not sure. Either way, I hope everybody has a great weekend planned. But today, or at least right now, we're going to look at some ads. And so I want to start by thanking those of you that uploaded ads to look at. We'll take a look at some of these. Actually, one of our students, Austin, uploaded several different marketing pieces that he's doing. So we'll get him on here and we'll have a little chat and talk about his marketing and some ideas is moving forward that we can tweak. Also, any of your follow-up related questions, of course, or sorry, your lead generation related questions, you can pose those right into the chat as well. We saw a lot of you in Orlando at the Super Conference this week. That was nice to see those of you that were there, and I hope you enjoyed the breakout session. But Andrea, why don't we do this? We've got our ads up here, and so why don't we start by going through some of these ads. And as we're doing that, anybody that has questions or anything that they'd like to discuss can just type that into the chat, and we'll go from there. Is that reasonable?
Yes, do so. If you have any results that you've gotten since you've posted to the ad clinic or the marketing clinic, go ahead and type those in, or any questions, comments you have, and we'll take them as they come in.
Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at this ad we're looking at from Harry Kimbrough. I believe it's from Harry, is that right?
Yes, Mr. Real Estate himself.
Mr. Real Estate himself from Gillette, Wyoming. Okay, now first of all, this is what we would call a property display ad for obvious reasons. You're displaying properties here. So here's the format that you want to follow with a property display ad. Number one, you need to have a headline that promotes a unique advantage or a unique benefit that would really grab prospects by the throat, really grab attention. And so the only way that you're going to do that is if your headline is highly visible. So the headline can't just say anything. We're going to use a performance guarantee, a USP of some kind as a headline, but it's got to be big. You got to grab the attention with the headline. If you don't, your ad doesn't look any different than the seemingly identical page after page of realtors advertising their property listings. So what sets yours apart is going to be that you've got a great big bold headline that promotes a very unique benefit. All right, so you've got the unique benefit part down, but it's not really a headline. It's too understated, and you need it to be much, much bigger. This needs to span the entire width of the page at the very top and grab attention with that headline that says your home sold in 77 days or I'll sell it for free. Visit harrysguaranteedsale.com. Free internet, free instant access to all area homes for sale. All right, so that is your USP attention grabbing headline, but it's not really a headline right now. It is no larger. The print is no larger than most of the other print on here, so it's not really accomplishing that. So make that span the width of the page, make it really big. Okay, now here's the other thing that you want to do is the way you've got this formatted right now is that you've got the properties on the right-hand side and you've got universal offers on the left-hand side. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. A property ad only would appeal to somebody looking for that property. So they're easy to eliminate. They have what we call narrow appeal. So a property is an offer of narrow appeal. On the left-hand side of the page, you're making offers of wide appeal, more universally appealing offers. We've got a property with a pool. On the left, you'd have an ad that said properties with pools, free list of great deals and all price ranges with pools. Okay, that's a universally appealing offer. The house with the pool is a narrow offer. Here's what I'm going to suggest that will work better than separating those two. What you want to do is you want to mix them up together. So in other words, you've got a list of distress sale properties. You've got a renter's ad that offers a free list of first-time homebuyer properties. You're offering some free special reports. Here's what you want to do. Using this grid pattern that you've done with your property ads, you want to mix into some of those boxes some of these universal offers. See, the reason being is that the prospect's eye is going to be drawn to the properties. That's what they're going to look at. The reason the prospect is looking in this publication in the first place is because they want to look at the pretty pictures of the properties. Now, you and I know that they're eliminating 99 out of 100 of the properties that they look at, but they're looking at the pictures of the properties. So if you've separated your universal offers from the properties, the danger is the prospects will never see them. But if instead the universal offers are mixed in with the photographs of your property listings, they become more visible. And you will generate more leads from the universal offers than from any given property. But they've got to be visible. And right now, the way you've got it formatted isn't as visible. So use that grid pattern, and instead of having a property in one of those squares, you're instead going to use a universal offer. Free list of acreage property, lovely homes on 2 to 10 acre lots, free list with pictures. There's a great example. You have that mixed in with the properties so that the prospects actually see it. But the way you've got it formatted right now is it's more difficult. So that's a big suggestion. Now, here's one thing that is important to note that is an important detail. When you give the address of the property, it's kind of dangerous because what you're doing is you're giving further reason to eliminate the property because you're giving the location. Or better than that, what you're doing is you're giving the prospect less reason to call in to the recorded hotline because you're giving them a key piece of information that they want. Now, having said that, I also noticed that what Harry is doing here is not including the price. So obviously that would be a reason for the prospect to call to find out the price. Here's the thing though. I think if you reverse that, and you gave the price, you know, prospects are shopping on price points. If you gave the price but removed the address, the reason the prospect would call into the 1-800 number 24/7 is to find out where the property is. Now, of course, upon calling into the hotline, they're not going to find out where the property is unless they request that information and leave a message. In doing so, we have a lead to follow up with. So if I were Harry, I would test switching out the address with the price of the property, and let's see if we get more calls into your hotline. But here's something that Harry's doing really well. In each individual property, he has a separate call to action. In other words, you can call into the hotline to get recorded information on any of these properties, and each property has its own separate ID code along with the toll-free 24/7 800 number to get that recorded information, which is exactly the way that you want to do it. So you've got a few little changes here that you can make, but you've definitely got the bones of a good ad here.
We have Harry on the line, and he's raised his hand. I was wondering if you'd like to go ahead and talk to him while we're still looking at his ad.
Of course.
Harry, your line is open.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Harry.
How you doing?
Great.
Good. Okay, on the far left, I've got all this garbage about my histories, units sold, all that stuff. Do you think I should take that out?
No, because it is branded. So you can definitely leave that there, and that you can leave on the left-hand side by your contact information. I'm talking more of the universal offers that you're making. Sure. When you offer a free special report or when you offer a list of properties, you should also be offering an online home evaluation in here, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, but all I'm suggesting is use this grid pattern and just add some extra boxes, and mixed in with the properties, you would have, the renter's ad, you would have the distress sale ad. What'll happen is those offers will become more visible. The way they are right now, nobody's looking over there. Everybody's eyeball is going to the property photographs, and they're going to bypass the universal offers the way you've got it formatted right here.
Okay.
And as far as the headline goes, Harry, if you take a look on the coaching site and you look at all of the examples of Craig's property display ads, what you'll notice in every one of them, in every case, the headline is always very dominant. And your headline is far too understated. You want to have that spanning the width of this ad, really making sure that it jumps out off the page and that everybody sees it.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, James.
You're very welcome. Thank you. All right, let's keep going here, Andrea.
Okay, this next ad is from Ellen, and she did email me information, including what's written here. So I'll go ahead and read what she emailed me. She says, I've been running editorial ads in the Hallettsville Times for about 6 months. Got decent response at first, 9 or 10 inquiries. But she can't get prospects to pick up the phone. The few she have reached state firmly that they are not selling, just wanted information.
Okay, well, that's a follow-up issue. Do you know that virtually 100% of people that walk into the shoe store say, no thanks, just looking? But not 100% of them walk out without purchasing. In other words, most of them are what we like to call lying. So that's a follow-up question. Remember this, we have to differentiate the purpose of the ad with the end result. The ad is not capable of converting a lead. Absolutely not capable. The ad is only capable of getting a prospect to take action and raise their hand. That's it. And then from there, our follow-up takes over. So first of all, let's take a look at this editorial. I like this. This is very, very good. It says 11 high-cost home inspection traps you should know about weeks before listing your Hyattville home for sale. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to suggest this. When the response is lower, you want to take out those kinds of qualifiers, like weeks before. Take it out and just have it say 11 high-cost home inspection traps you should know before listing your Hyattsville home for sale. In other words, let's make this as wide openly appealing to get as many prospects as possible to read it. So by including weeks before, we're eliminating anybody that might be months before, but we don't want to eliminate them. I assure you, you will want somebody's listing 6 months from now just as badly then as you do right now. So we don't want to eliminate anybody by saying weeks before yet. If you told me, well, I'm getting dozens and dozens of leads and I want the ones that are closer to now, then we would do that. But that's not happening with you. You got one response. So now exactly what does it say? It says one response from a chatty old lady, hi, who says she isn't moving but may know others who might. That is from this ad. Didn't pull at all. Other ads didn't pull. Looking great the first
So 181
time.
per insertion for 12 months. Worked great the first time. Other ads didn't pull at all.
Okay, so this is what you should be doing is you should be testing the different headlines and very carefully tracking the headlines that obviously work better than the ones that don't, and don't ever run the ones that don't again, and stick with the ones that do. And you can even run the ones that do over and over and over again. And again, you will get bored of them long before the response does. So for example, Craig ran every single week, which of these costly home seller mistakes will you make when you sell your York Region home? Every single week, over and over and over and over again. So bearing that in mind, you would think, well, once it's run once, isn't it, don't you need to give it a break? No, let the response dictate that. So you don't need to have 10 different editorial ads. If you have 1 or 2 or 3, that's all you need, and you can just rotate those. What you do need to do, though, is experiment with all of the different headlines, offers that are available so that you can hit on what are those 1 or 2 that work the best. The home inspection generally is a good one, but you want to start with the costly home sellers. That's probably the best one. Avoid these costly home seller mistakes, when selling your Hyattsville home is probably a good one to start off with. Andrea, what was the other information that you were reading before that?
That
About
she was having
responses before 10 responses, I don't know.
Not 9 or 10 responses, or what she called inquiries, but she was saying she was having a hard time reaching people.
Okay, that's what it was. Yes, reaching people. Okay, so you know the ad is not capable of getting you to reach people. In other words, these are two completely separate things. The ad got the prospect to take action and actually pick up the phone, call into the hotline, and that's all it's capable of doing. That's all the ad can do. So if we're not reaching those prospects, then that's a separate challenge that we've got to troubleshoot. But it has nothing to do with the ad. In other words, everybody has trouble reaching prospects, depending on what they're doing. So first of all, what you want to make sure is that you're calling the prospect back as quickly as possible. The other thing that you want to make sure is that when you're calling the prospect, you're calling them from a number that looks like a local personal call, not a telemarketer. And I'll tell you what helps. If the local phone number appears on their caller display as well as your name, it looks like a personal call. It doesn't look like a sales call. It doesn't look like a solicitation. If it's just your phone number, that's the next best thing. If it's blocked or 1-800 number, or it says, real estate office, yeah, no one's answering the phone there. I get that. But so this is something that you need to look at. Also, you can't call them back once or twice and say, nope, they're not answering. You've got to be diligent with it. And you know what? Sometimes you'll convert a lead. The fifth time or sixth time that you've called them, they answer the phone. Try them at different times throughout the day. And then when you call them, use the universal script. Obviously, that's what we've been training you to do, and we've worked on that. But, this is a common, familiar refrain. If we don't say the right things, the prospects are not going to, just volunteer their motivation and timing. If we don't say the right things to compel them, then yeah, they're going to all say, no thanks, just looking. Just like you do when you walk into the store. No thanks, just looking. Even though you're not just looking. You say, no thanks, just looking. That's what we do to salespeople. So we've got to be a little more skilled in understanding that this is the prospect's, script. How are we going to break them away from that script and get them to share their true motivations? Anyway, I like this editorial a lot. I like where it runs. You just need to experiment again with some of the different headlines to hit on what are the 2 or 3 best ones that you can run over and over again every single week. All right, let's keep going here, Andrea. All right, so here's a Facebook ad, and this comes from beautiful Gilbert Homes, which is really good, coming from an information source, not from a realtor, from an information source. Which of these costly home seller mistakes will you make when you sell your home? Click for a free report that will help you avoid these home seller mistakes. Yeah, this is a worthy test, but honestly, in our findings, what you will likely find is this. When you offer a free special report using, Google or Facebook or a lot of these online sources, it doesn't work as effectively as offering properties. So in other words, if you want to compel sellers, then the 2 ways that you're going to attract sellers is by 1, offering home values, home evaluations, offering an area home sales report, properties, or number 2, offering a free list of move-up properties that would appeal to somebody with a home to sell. Those are your 2 best offers. So I'm not dissuading you from testing an offer like this. All I'm saying is what you'll likely find is that when you offer homes, whether that's area homes that have sold to determine the value of your home, or you're offering a free list of move-up properties that would attract somebody with a home to sell, offering properties for sale overwhelmingly, you'll find, is more appealing online than offering a free special report. So, here's the other issue as well, is that you'll generate less leads on your website when you offer a free special report, because when the prospect clicks on this, they're kind of expecting to read the report. So a lot of them will just leave. Whereas when they're asking for a list, it's customized. So they're expecting to give information because the list of properties is customized to what they're looking for. So there's a built-in expectation that they're going to be, giving information on the website. So, but again, a worthy test, and just be careful to track the responses. Okay, let's keep going, Andrea. This one comes from the Palm Beaches Home Info. All right, good. You can own a home in Wellington for zero money down. Get instant access to a free list of eligible homes with pictures, addresses, and prices. Go to. That's pretty compelling. So there is an image of a map, and you click anywhere on either the link or on the image, and it will take you to their Success webpage that offers a free list of homes available with no money down, 100% financing. Now, of course, here's what you and I know. If you work with a lender that offers 100% financing, then any home is eligible. Virtually 100% of homes are eligible for 100% financing. Of course, it's the buyer that is either eligible or not. So the homes are all eligible. Doesn't matter what you're looking for. It's eligible. It's, are you eligible? Now, this is the only danger with this, and you're going to determine this as you go along. When you run an ad that offers properties with zero money down, not always, but a lot of times, of course, you understand the volume of prospects is not reflective of the quality of prospect. So you're going to generate prospects that you cannot help. You need to have a system in place, knowing this is going to happen, that you can take some of these prospects, and upon following up with them, you can get them easily in touch with your lender or whoever your mortgage affiliate is, and get them, even if it's just a brief phone call, to determine, okay, if I generate 10 prospects that respond to zero down, I know that maybe I'm looking for 2 out of these 10 that are going to be, worthy. So I have a system in place where I can call them, determine their timing and motivation, and then get them in touch with my mortgage affiliate as quickly as possible so that I can determine, okay, which are the 2 out of 10 that I should be meeting with and I should be focusing my energies on. Because, when you offer zero down or even distressed sales, bank foreclosures, when you're offering great deals without any sort of price qualifier or anything like that, yeah, you're going to get some that are in no danger of buying anything at any time, or not anytime soon anyway. So we're aware of that. Now, you might generate a tremendous volume of response, but the quality of response is not going to be there. If instead this said, you can own a home in Wellington for zero down, starting from, and then you had a reasonable starting price point, free list of properties starting from, that would eliminate some of the prospects that are looking in an unrealistically low price point. But these are things that you can test. I like the idea that you're just leaving it wide open like this, because this is where we're going to get the most action. Like ad number 5 here. Go back to that, Andrea. I like this one. Just listed. First-time buyer home deals in Wellington. Get instant access to new listings in real time. So again, that's really, really compelling. And obviously this one is appealing to first-time home buyers. So, and again, if you wanted to put in a qualifier, you might put in a starting price point. Just listed first-time home buyer deals in Wellington starting from whatever it might be, 250, 354, but whatever it is. Very good. Okay, so, and again, it comes from the Palm Beaches Home Info. Very information-based. When you're offering when you're making a universal offer, don't have it come from you. If you were advertising your property listing, it could come from you. But if you're advertising making a universal offer, make sure it's coming from an information source, and this is a good example of that. I like the map as well. Okay, let's keep going here, Andrea.
Okay, sorry about that. We are now to our ads. Austin, I'd like to get him on. He has several ads that we're fixing to look at. So Austin Goodell and Lynn, I'm going to open your line up. Now you're logged in twice. Go ahead and say hello. I opened your first line. Austin and Lynn, if you can hear me, you dialed on the telephone. You'll go ahead and need to enter your PIN code. So while we're waiting for them to do that, this is a
All
referral
right.
newsletter.
It's hard to read.
I'm going to make it
All
bigger.
right, a referral. Yes.
Austin, we can hear you. Austin and Lynn, say hello.
Hello, hello.
I don't think they can hear us. That's okay. Go ahead, James.
All right. So, first of all, if we take a look here, who this goes to is critical, and I would suggest probably your database. You know, everybody in your database, your sphere of influence, past clients, anybody like that, this would go to, because if this is a referral newsletter, then obviously everybody is a prospective opportunity for referral business. Now, here's what we've come to understand when you're sending out any kind of newsletter. You have to include information in the newsletter that would be, you know, entertaining, interesting. It can't just be a whole bunch of you know, real estate offers, because obviously it might get opened and looked at once, but the person reading it will say, well, I'm never making that mistake again, right? There's nothing in here. So here's what we've come to understand. People like to know about what is happening in the real estate market in their neighborhoods, in their towns, in their areas. And the best way to make it really appealing to the eye is to use graphs, you know, charts and graphs. It's really appealing to the eye when you can have different charts and graphs that show, for example, over the last 12 months, here are the volume of sales each month in your neighborhood or your town, if this is going out to a wide area. And because it's really easy to look at and it's really easy to understand. Here is the fluctuation of home prices. So using a line graph, you can show over the last 12 months, here are what homes are selling for over the last 12 months, the average home sale prices. Really easy to look at. Now, here's why I suggest that you always put that kind of information in a newsletter. It's because everybody finds that kind of information interesting, even if they're not thinking about selling. Now, why is that important? It's important because if it gets them to read it the next month you send it out, then that's the name of the game. But if they open up your newsletter, the first time they look at it, there's nothing in it of any kind of interest to them. They're never, ever going to look at it again. They're going to throw it straight in the recycling bin and say it's more junk from the realtor. Instead, we want them to see this market data information, very easy to absorb, easy to read, easy to understand. And here's what you'll find. When you hit on information that's interesting, they'll read the rest of it, or at least they'll look at the rest of it. They'll see the rest of it. Now, mixed in with this data, this information, you're going to have, you know, universal offers. You're going to have calls to action, you know, what to do if you know somebody. You can make offers, you know, offer certificates for referral business is what you should be doing. You know, things that say, you know, this entitles, you know, entitles the bearer to save $1,000 on their closing costs. Give this to somebody that you know, or if you know somebody, you know, I'll provide this certificate. All they have to do is call this number or log on to this website or whatever it is. I also like that you've got your worthy cause here. So your worthy cause is called House of Refuge. And that's really important as well because it ties in with the community that you're serving. And of course, this is goodwill goes an awfully long way. And so this is the kind of thing that you include in your newsletter as well. So those are kind of like the key hot buttons that you want to hit on when you're sending out a newsletter. And I think most of those you have here, but again, what I would really look at is you've got the reality program. And with that reality program, you can pull off all kinds of great stats. So each month you can pull off something different and just put it in there. Information about what is happening in the market area that would be appealing for people to look at, to give them an idea of what's actually happening. Days on market is another one you could do. Now, you don't have to put all of them in one, but each month when you send this out, or however often, include some of that information right up top, right where it's very, very visible. It will get more people reading your newsletter if they see this kind of information of interest. Okay, what else do we have to look at here?
Okay, they submitted what looks to be an envelope. Obviously, it has the postage. And Austin and Lynn, if y'all have stepped away and have come back, just let me know.
Okay, yes, Austin and Lynn, please assist the following people with real estate needs. I think this would be more powerful if attached to some sort of a certificate that said, your worthy cause. It should say, this each referral sale is accompanied with a donation to your worthy cause in the amount of $500, and that should be tied right in on this page that we're looking at right here.
Okay, Ellen Levy, since we haven't heard from Austin, is saying this is the reply postcard that they're supposed to enclose.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. So this goes in. That's what I'm saying. This goes into the newsletter, and this is how you send a referral. This is like the call to action. And what I'm suggesting is the way it is right here, like this, is okay. But I would also include information about the worthy cause, like where it says thank you for the referral. There you have it say each successful sale, it includes a $500 donation to your worthy cause, whatever that was, right? Like make sure that that is very, very clear. Otherwise, it really, there's no WIFM here at all. What's in it for me? Remember WIFM? So what's in it for me? I'm going to take my time to go and find a pen so I can write down names for Austin and Lynn. Yeah, in a perfect world that might happen once, but it's not going to. I think you need to make this a little bit more compelling for people. How about this? You can test, including information on your worthy cause. What do you do with each referral? Would you send a $500 donation to that worthy cause? Or how about this? For each referral, would you send them a certificate for $1,000 off their closing costs? Right? That would be something, for each of your friends that you know that are thinking about making a move that you refer to me, I will give them on your behalf a certificate for $1,000 off their closing costs for each referral, or $500 off their closing costs. Would you do that? Would you be willing to do that for their referral? Well, I think you would be. It would certainly be worth a test. So that's the kind of thing I think needs to be included right here where you're asking them to take action. And you know what? Proof's in the pudding. If I asked you, how long have you been doing this and how many of these have you had back? How many of these have you gotten back? And I would suspect the answer would be none. Well, if it's none, then we can't keep doing it this way. We've got to make some of these little changes so that, that number starts to creep up, obviously. So that's my suggestion as far as this goes. Okay, is there more?
Austin and Lynn, I believe they're on with us now. Say hello.
Yes, we're here. And this is our first monthly referral newsletter. And so next month we'll be able to add those things that James was talking about. And we're doing that to put the graph, some sort of a graph on the very first page. As far as
yes, I would put it. Yeah, put it as very near the top, because let's make sure that everybody that opens this sees it. I just believe that that is compelling information for everybody. In other words, even somebody who's not thinking about moving is interested in information about their home, because it's about them, the person they care about the most. So when they're looking at that, it would be very compelling. Now, the only reason I say that is two reasons. One, it's more likely they're going to look at the rest of it if there's some really good information right at the top. It makes it more likely that they don't throw it in the recycling bin, that they read it. Okay. And number two is, if the information that you send is interesting and helpful, then next month when you send it out again, it's more likely that they read it. So that's why including that kind of market data, that a graph or a chart of that kind of very specific information, is a really good idea to include. And then the other thing is, with this referral card, you know, I just feel like on the referral card there should be like a reminder that, you know, each referral, you know, is accompanied by a $500 donation to your worthy cause, or entitles entitles your friend to a $500 certificate. Some benefit to them for sending the referral. There needs to be some kind of a benefit to them, as opposed to just, this is what I want. You know,
that makes sense.
It's too one-sided. This is what we want. We want you to write down the people that you know that are thinking about moving. What's in it for you? Well, nothing, but this is what's in it for me. So let's make it a little bit of both. Let's put in a little bit of information in there that reminds them that when you do this really nice thing for me, it also does something nice for somebody else as well, right? Whether that somebody else is your donation to the charity, or whether that something nice is your friends are going to get a $500 savings certificate, or both for that matter. But I think it would make doing this a little bit more compelling to the prospect, rather than just, you know, this send Austin and Lynn business because they want money.
For next month. That sounds good.
Yeah, no, you've got, I mean, you're going to have plenty to experiment with. There's no question. So if this is your first one, this is a really, really good effort, and I think that there's plenty of things that we can do to build from this. But yeah, we're on the right track.
Jim, James. Sorry, I have another question for you. Would you incorporate the home evaluation for these people to be able to access that in the referral newsletter at all, or is that not appropriate for the referral newsletter?
Okay, say that one more time.
Would you incorporate in your newsletter, the referral newsletter, something to the effect that they can get a home evaluation on their home if they're interested, or is that not appropriate for the referral newsletter?
Well, listen, here you're going to be testing, so the answer is yes, definitely. You're going to test different offers in the newsletter, right? You're going to test all kinds of different offers in the newsletter, all different, let's call them calls to action, reasons why somebody would respond directly from the newsletter. But because it's primarily going out to just your database, most of those people aren't thinking about moving at all. Right. So in other words, some offers are going to work better than others. But we're going to test them all, including and definitely the online home evaluation. You know what one I think is going to work better than the online home evaluation? The one that says, find out what homes in your neighborhood are selling for.
Okay.
I think you're going to find that one will work. That one will be, for a referral newsletter, that might be a better offer.
And where would you place that, James? There's the 4 pages. So where do you think does it just test?
Well, I'll
where
tell you
place
what.
it?
You're going to find a correlation. You're definitely going to find a correlation that the further to the beginning, the more visibility it will get, and the further to the end, the less visibility that any offer will get. So if you have an offer that is really well received and it's right at the very top on page 1. And then you take it the next month and you move it to the very bottom of the back side of the copy, don't be shocked when it generates a lot less.
Okay, makes sense.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's no more, illogical than that. All right, very good. And is this yours as well that we're looking at right here? No, it's not.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry. Okay. 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 So talk to us about this. What am I looking at right here?
This will be a piece that we can use in different ways. We can put it on a mailing piece, a sold card. We could put it on. We could use it for our presentations and our listing presentations. We just figure it's a piece that we can use a couple different ways.
So we have the buyer's visual aid.
It could be on a flyer, lots of different ways.
Okay. All right. Well, one thing I would suggest is that you need to make this more branded. In other words, if it's going to be branded, then let's make it branded. And this is branded. So this is coming from the Goodell team, real estate group. So if that's true, then at the very top, we want to make sure that this valuable information is associated with you. All right. So follow the format of any branded type of advertising or any branded marketing that you'll see that Craig has done, and you'll notice that if it's branded, it's always branded to him. So whatever your, however you brand yourselves with your picture, with all that information, make sure it's front and center. When you differentiate yourself by offering a unique benefit, it is critical that that unique benefit be associated with you. And right now, I gotta be honest, looking at this, it's not. It's not associated with you. You are offering unique, very valuable information. It's not associated with you though. And so you're missing that opportunity to do that. Regardless of whether this was distributed in an ad or by direct mail, or maybe as a pre-listing, for an appointment that you had set up, this is something that would go to that appointment before you got there, that kind of thing. It needs to be branded to you, but this is very, very powerful.
Okay, and then maybe also on the back of a trade-up flyer, just something.
Or an online ad.
Yeah.
But we'll get more brand.
How about this? How about this as well? This is really good for, you could have it on the back of a feature sheet that you would include in a property. So, when your listings are being shown, or you have an open house on a property, the feature sheet on the back side would include information like that, because you're going to get a lot of prospective sellers that are looking at the property, and this would give them a huge reason to respond. All right, what am I looking at here?
This is a business card.
This is our.
Okay, good. I was hoping you'd do that.
Front back.
Yeah, this is really good. Love Your Home Guaranteed or We'll Buy It Back. And on the other side, a buyer offer, the 10 best buys free list with pictures of available properties. What I like about both of these offers is they're forever. In other words, you don't ever need to change those. Those will be compelling till the end of time, both of those offers. So because of that, you can be really consistent with both of those offers. And over months and months and years, really establish those two offers as being associated with you. So yeah, that's a great example of a business card. Is that new, or have you been doing this for some time?
Well, we have another one. We're kind of tweaking it. We don't have the.
It's a draft.
It's a draft because we've got our card right now is. It says that on the front it's your home sold guaranteed, and on the back we have the buyers. So we're trying to make our card where we were going to do another just separate card for just buyers, and our coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Well, I mean, you don't know. I mean, because somebody's a buyer, that doesn't mean they don't have a home to sell, and because somebody is selling doesn't mean they don't want to buy a home. So you've got to. I mean, what you're doing is you're making two offers that would be appealing to prospects, and you don't know whether a prospect is a buyer or a seller or both. So with this offer, you're definitely appealing to a prospect, which I like. Now, the only thing that you might want to include, you might want to change a little bit, and it's kind of nitpicking, but if you're going to do it once, then it's something to think about, is it says 10 best buys, free list with pictures of available properties in your specific price range area. What you want to do is you want to you want to give the perception of a good deal. So maybe in other words, it would say something like this: free list with pictures of the best of the best deals in your specific price range and area. Instead of just saying of available properties, you know, prospects can get that anywhere. Go on any website and you can find available properties. We wanted to say free list of pictures of the best properties in your specific price range and area.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Right? Available properties isn't unique, but the best properties, specific price range, or you know, free list with pictures of the best deals in your specific price range and area. That's more compelling. Not only is it more compelling, but it also creates more of a sense of urgency to respond. If these are just available properties, well, shit, I can get that anywhere, anytime. So by adding the element of a good deal, or somehow that these are special, it does urge the prospect to take action more than this.
That makes sense. Thank you.
All right, so that's something simple that you can do, but I think that would be worthy. All right. Now, what are we looking at here? Ad number 9. What's this?
I believe it's our sold, just sold postcard.
All right, well, I'll tell you the first thing that Craig would tell you here for sure is your headline, your home sold guaranteed, or we will buy it. You need to make that headline, just simplify it. Don't have don't have it on a black background. Don't have the red. It's too difficult to read and it's just missed completely. You need to have it probably another 50% bigger. Have it just black on a white background and it will really stand out off the page. But the way it is right now, the headline, which is like the ad for the ad, is what grabs the attention. Right now, it's not really a headline. It doesn't stand out. It's not big enough, and the red writing is hardly seen. Dark red on a black background is very, very difficult, if not, you know, completely missed. So that's something simple that you can do. Listen, I know it sounds like an insignificant detail, but when you are looking at, you know, any kind of marketing piece, the headline is what you want your prospect to look at first. Because let's face it, there's a lot of information here. So it's kind of scattered. And there's a great expression in marketing that goes like this. In practice, the confused mind does nothing. The confused mind does nothing. It just looks at it. It's overwhelmed. It doesn't know what to look at. So it averts. It looks away. And that's what's going to happen here. We need to make it crystal clear. Okay, you're looking at something that has a lot of information. By making the headline overwhelming, it makes it obvious this is what you should look at first. Draw your attention to this. And then the prospect is into the marketing piece, they're into the ad, then they can proceed to look at whatever else you're offering in here at that time. But without the headline, what you're doing is you're throwing at their eyeballs a scattering of information, and all that does is create confusion. And the confused mind does nothing. They leave. They go away. So that's why the headline is more important than we think. And you know, it's interesting because it's easy to do a test. You can run the identical ad, with no headline at all, and then run the identical ad with a headline that really stands out, and you'll be amazed to find the response. Maybe not on the headline itself, but the response on the ad itself, you know, goes up exponentially because there is a headline that organizes the, you know, the thoughts of the prospect that's looking at the marketing piece. All right, so what's this one now? Is this a page in a publication, or what is this?
Yeah, again, we could use that in a number of different ways too. Like we can incorporate it on a postcard, a mailer, a newsletter.
Dan Kennedy, a goal plan letter.
Yep. Yep. No, that's good. You know what? I know you've got this three big reasons to call the Goodell Realty team. And you know, I get what you're doing here, and you've got your 3 reasons below, but It's not really what you want to do in a headline. Um, you want to give the reason in the headline, right? That assumption that they're going to read what is below. You know what I'd rather it say in the headline? Sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. It just grabs attention. It grabs attention so much more. You know, your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. Now the question is, how do you do that? And that's where these 3 bullet points really come into play. It's because you sell homes faster. Homes are more likely to sell. Your homes sell for more money. How are you able to guarantee that my home is going to sell? Well, your ad or the 3 bullet points answer the question. Here's why we're willing to guarantee your home. You know, we sell nearly 100% of all our listings, so it makes it easy to put a guarantee, right? We sell our homes almost 50% more quickly. So that headline, your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it, would be, I think, would be much, much more compelling as a headline. Also, you know, I know too, you know, when you're trying to be artistic, having different colors, you know, is appealing. But honestly, just for a headline, when I'm talking simply about a headline, with a headline, black print on white, nothing beats it. You know, well, how about this? Dark writing on a white background will stand out better than anything else. So forget about red background. It just makes it more difficult to read, not easier to read. So you have your guarantee, have it black writing on a white background, and have it say your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. And that will grab way more attention than the 3 big reasons to call the Goodell Realty Group. Right? Because the headline doesn't disclose what the 3 reasons are.
Okay. Okay.
But you guys are sitting on a guarantee in your marketplace that is unique, extremely beneficial to a prospective seller, and highly likely that 99.9% of the other realtors aren't offering any kind of guarantee whatsoever. So anywhere where you have branded advertising, you, as an automatic, you should be branding your guaranteed sale.
Okay.
And what I like about this marketing piece is what it does is it justifies why you're able to make such a bold offer. Like, you got to understand, a prospect could easily be thinking your home sold guaranteed we'll buy it. Well, that sounds too good to be true. How do you do that? Well, I'll tell you how we guarantee it. Because we sell nearly 100% of our listings. We sell the listings on average for 13% more. And we sell them 45% faster than the average agent. That's why we're able to guarantee the sale of your home. What you're doing is you're making sense of what is a very bold offer. So I like this a lot, and as you say, this is very versatile. You can use this in a lot of different places. I mean, not just as an ad, you know, that maybe would run with your property listings or something, but yeah, in your listing presentation, in any information that you direct mail, you know, anything like that. This is really strong.
Okay, so on this one, the takeaway, James, is get rid of the don't even include anywhere on the flyer 3 big reasons to call. Just take our just sold guarantee, make that black on white, and leave it like that.
Yeah, I would just exactly get rid of that 3 big reasons. I mean, people can count to 3. They can see that there are 3 here. I would promote your guaranteed sale, and what you're doing. These 3 points, yes, they justify why you're able to guarantee homes. It's really good.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you so much, James.
You're welcome.
Before we move on, Austin and Lynn, I don't know what happened, but for some reason I'm unable to mute your line. Your phone is disconnected from the login. So I'm going to need you guys either to hang up or just mute your personal phone. That way y'all aren't live throughout the rest of the marketing clinic today. I apologize for that, guys. Okay, hold on 1 second.
So we've got a couple more to look at, Andrea?
We do have a couple more.
Cool.
This first print ad, at the very bottom.
Okay, so now here's the thing. This ad ran outside of the real estate section, as you can see, at the very bottom of the page. So I would certainly not call this great placement for any kind of ad. your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. Yeah, you know what? I mean, this is an ad that would be certainly more appropriate where prospects are looking for real estate. That's my concern. You don't offer any properties for sale, any pictures of properties for sale, which would really draw the eye of the prospect. You know what? Here's what I would suggest with this publication. I want you to do one of two things, and this is neither of those two. Number one, I'd like you to look at this publication to run an editorial style ad.
And they did. We'll see that next.
Okay, so good. Now the other thing that I would recommend, okay, so recommendation number two is I would run what we call a display ad, all right, like a remnant space display ad that makes a very quick universal offer, unbranded, all right, unbranded, not a guaranteed sale like this one, but unbranded. So in other words, it might say this, distress sales, bank foreclosures, hot list, free list of must sell homes. And that's your ad with the call to action. It's not branded, although you'll have a little disclaimer at the very bottom of it. The ad just makes a universal offer, or something like this. Over the net home evaluation. Find out what your area home is worth today online. The domain name. That's it. Just a very, very quick and concise. We call them web display ads, and they can run anywhere in the local newspaper, which is why we recommend if you're going to use remnant space, you'll get a good deal, but that's the kind of ad that you want to include in there. You know, really though, when we look at a local newspaper, the first thing that you want to be thinking is would this be good for editorial ad? That's the first thing that you want to think. Local newspaper, editorial. The next thing is, do they have remnant space? And if they have remnant space, you can run it over the net home evaluation. You can run the must sell hot list of great deals. But as far as advertising branded, like your guarantee, unless they have a real estate section, it probably isn't going to be, it's going to be very expensive, or at least too expensive for very little that you get in return is likely what you're going to find. Now, I don't want to dissuade anyone from testing, but I want you to start with what is likely going to work the best. And that is definitely running the editorials and running the remnant space web display ads. So let's take a look at the editorial ad that ran here. It says, 27 quick and easy fix-ups to sell your Madeira home fast and for top dollar. All right, so that's a pretty good one. You know, I mean, the column widths are a little off. That should probably be a 3-column format. If it'll fit, you could try that. I mean, if it doesn't cost any more money, why not make it look as much like the article on the left as possible? See, here's our challenge. When we run an editorial article and it doesn't look like the other articles in the paper, your eye doesn't really see it because it sees it as an ad. So subconsciously, you're just looking at an ad and you bypass it and you go on to the next article. You know, not a lot of people read the newspaper for the ads. So if your ad looks like an ad, then don't be shocked when no one sees it. You know, you're not really reading the paper to notice ads. So the purpose of the editorial is to make it not only read like an article, but it actually has to look like an article. And the closer you get it to look like an article, the more likely it is that people read the headline. And if they read the headline and are remotely thinking about selling their home, the headline makes it really difficult for them not to read the article. And if they read the article makes it really difficult for them not to request the information from the hotline. So could we do a better job of making this article, this editorial, look more like an article in the newspaper? And if the answer is yeah, we could, well, how would we do that? All right, well, let me give you some little ideas. First of all, I want you to notice the headline. Look at the headline on the left. It says, Local Pageant Queen Pursues Elusive Title. And then look at your headline on the right. And you'll notice that there are a couple of differences. Okay, number one, in your ad, in your headline, you've capitalized the first letter of every single word. Now I want you to look at the headline on the left. You'll notice they capitalized the first letter of the first word. That's it. And in most newspapers, that's called normal. That's what they do. So in an ad, yeah, you would capitalize the whole thing. But we're not trying to run an ad. We're trying to run an article. So when you submit this ad, you're going to copy the format of the newspaper, and you're only going to capitalize the Q in the word quick. That's it. If that even. I don't even know if you would capitalize that, because 27 is the first. So no, nothing is capitalized here. And what you'll notice is it'll follow the format and look better. Now, the other issue is with the columns and the size of type. When the size of type is dramatically different, that really throws it off and causes it to look like an ad. So what you'd rather do here is make the ad space a tiny bit bigger so that you can use the same type size and type font as the newspaper. And you'll see. I mean, all this nitpicking, all it does is this. It makes your editorial look like an article in the paper. And if it looks like an article, more people will see it and read it. And even though it's not like we're tricking somebody when they're reading it and they're thinking, oh, this is an article by the paper. But the point is, it's not salesy, and it's offering valuable information that only somebody thinking about selling would be interested in. So it makes it really easy for prospects to pick up the phone and order the report. But if they don't see it in the first place because it doesn't look like an article, it looks like an ad, then we can't hope to generate too much from it. So you got a few things that you can do with this, but don't give up on it, because, I mean, I don't know what response you got from it, but this local paper that you've got here, this Madera Tribune, is a really good opportunity. And I think with a little tweaking, you can have an editorial ad running every week in here, that might generate you 5 to 15 leads every time you run it. Just experiment with the different headlines, and let's see what you get. All right. Well, I think that's all. Those are all of our ads. Do we have any questions in the queue that are waiting, that in response to any of these ads that we looked at here, Andrea?
No, we don't. Ellen, she was missed when we reviewed ad number 2, which was her editorial. And she's going to listen to what we discussed. I'm not sure you'll have time today to redo everything we did when we ran over this ad. But it is on the recording, and it will be provided to everyone within the next few hours. We see Sandy actually raised her hand. Sandy has a question about editorials, but Sandy, I don't show that you've entered your PIN code in your telephone, so I cannot open your line. And then just a quick reminder, being Canada Day today, it's also July 4th on Monday, and we will not be hosting a helpline session.
Yes, on Monday, everybody is going to be, celebrating. Come on,
That's
man.
Right.
You're going to be celebrating, having a good time. And so, yeah, but we'll, for the rest of the week, actually, we're going to do our role play session, of course, next Thursday, and we're going to have a new group on there. So this is going to be a good one. And we'll be sort of revisiting some of the basics, but we'll be doing lots of role playing as well. So it'll probably be a longer 90 minutes to 2 hours, that role play session next Thursday, I would imagine. Okay, so Andrea, have an awesome weekend, and everybody else too, have a great, safe 4th of July. Don't hold the fireworks in your damn hands. I know somebody always does that. None of our members have ever done that.
Hey, how are you going to go viral on the internet if you don't do something like that?
I bet you know people that have done that, don't you, Andrea?
Very well, I know them.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, I just guessed that, being the whole Texas thing and all that.
That's right.
Just kidding. Hey, have an awesome 4th of July weekend, everybody. To everybody in Canada, have an awesome Canada Day long weekend. Summer is officially here, and so we thank all of you for participating. Thanks to everybody who sent in ads, and especially Austin Elaine. And Andrea, thanks so much for your help as well.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And have a great long weekend ahead. We'll talk to you all next week. Thank you, James. This officially ends the webinar for today.